Hi, I'm Harry Forbes from ARC. I'm here at the 2017 ARC World Forum in Orlando. My guest right now is Phil Niccolls, Vice President of Industry Marketing and Applications for Emerson Automation Solutions. Phil, welcome to the ARC Forum. It's nice to have you here.
Thanks, Harry. It's a pleasure being here.
Good to see you. Phil, a lot of our topics here would deal with the industrial Internet of Things and the challenges that end users face with that. Tell me a little bit about what you see from Emerson customers.
Well, Harry, when we talk with our customers and some of the targeted research that we've done, we tend to find there's some common themes that come out from that. One of the key things is the whole business justification. People are looking for help in actually determining, what steps they should take, but how to financially justify it. One of the other areas we find is this area of security. I mean, you just need to look at the number of topics here at the ARC Forum to understand how important that is. So that's a major area that we focus on. And the third topic that we hear from customers, a challenge, is finding somebody who can actually help them with the journey. Somebody who can come in and help advise them on, what they should be doing, in what order, how do they develop that business justification, and how do they actually develop a really good, solid roadmap to go forward.
Okay, well, Phil, in our research, a lot of the things that we've discovered is that the real opportunity, if you will, for industrial Internet of Things is planned downtime reductions, which is a huge payback, but it's very difficult a lot of times to implement. What are you doing to help people do that?
Well, there's a number of areas that we're focusing on with that. First of all, I've mentioned the challenges, but the size of the prize is really significant. We're looking here. The research that we've done, the analysis that we've done show that there's over $1 trillion in our industry that is lost every year because of suboptimal performance, and reliability is a big component.
You said $1 trillion.
1 trillion. Okay. 1 trillion. The way that we're approaching that, helping customers, is something that we call operational certainty. And this is a programmatic way in which we help customers reach that top quartile performance, the top 25% compared to their benchmark against their peers. And the operational certainty approach is the way that we're actually helping customers do that. And there's two components to that. One is the plant web digital ecosystem. We've leveraged decades of experience in that space in order to really bring together partners and analytics and infrastructures in order to deliver on that. And the key components are pervasive sensing at the very base. We have a significant amount of expertise in wireless infrastructure, wireless components. I think currently we have something like 29,000 networks out there around the globe operating. Then we have something we call the secure first mile. And this is all about this OT-IT divide and making sure that data can get out safely, but there's no way that you're going to get in and cause any issues with the automation environment. Then we're looking at programs, analytics, software that we've developed. We have some edge analytics that sit out there. We call it the Insight Suite. And here you've got statistical process control. We're bringing data in, which is a combination of process data and equipment data, building that together and giving a single health number on the status of that asset.
That's not something that I would think of in terms of Emerson. To expand on that a little more, because you have, as you mentioned, a very huge footprint in measurement and actuation and field and plant networks. And everybody understands that, but analytics is something that people probably don't recognize.
Well, the last few years, we've been spending a lot of time in that area. So whether it's actual edge analytics, meaning, we have examples. We have something called peak view. This is the ability with rotating equipment to bring in a vibration spectrum, do the analytics, and give a predictive indication, a single number, again, on that will tell somebody how far away from failure that particular component is. It looks at things like the signature of the inner and outer races on the bearing, the ball or roller, lubrication. We can bring that information in. In addition to that, the insight applications are things like heat exchangers and pumps and cooling towers, and bringing that information in Again, as I mentioned, from either process or a combination of process and machinery, allows you to really understand what's happening with that asset. And the nice thing about those insight applications is they have an auto benchmarking capability, so they're very, very easy to configure. If you look at the advisor suite of applications, that's a separate suite that we've developed that really look at a more integrated, data-rich environment. So those will allow you to do not just the health analytics that I mentioned, but we use physical models, first principle thermodynamic models. We put in the pump curves. You can use this for things like compressors and turbines, and you can actually enhance the health by bringing in some performance information as well, and allow people to understand, where you're performing against an optimal position. One other area is that we're actually doing industry-specific analytics, and I'd like to highlight down in Santiago in Chile, we have our mining R&D Center of Excellence. They're doing some phenomenal work down there on analytics. They're looking at things like conveyor monitoring, shovels, mining shovels, leaching pads, and sag mills.
This is very interesting because I think a lot of the industrial market it recognizes you for other strengths, so that's very interesting to see the work that you're doing in that area. How does that, can you give us just a capsule summary of how that fits in to the whole offering for Emerson? Because what is the kind of the wrapper, if you will, for analytics? Is there a thing that ties it together for you?
Well, we're looking to deploy the right analytics in the right area. It really depends on how a customer wants to deploy it. So you can mix and match, whether it's at the edge, whether it's in the fog, whether it's at a site, aggregated level. For us, the digital ecosystem, which is that combination of wireless, that secure first mile, the analytics, the mobility side that we're putting a lot of work into, and also connected services where we can augment a customer with our expertise. But I also mentioned the consulting expertise that we have as well. That's a really key area. It's not just about the technology. It's also about the people and the processes and how you bring that together to align with the business strategy of the client.
Well, thanks very much, Phil. That was a lot of new information for me. I really appreciate you sharing it with us.
Thanks, Harry. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
This is Harry Forbes from ARC Advisory Group. I've been interviewing Phil Niccolls, Vice President of Emerson Automation Solutions. Thank you.